Die sublimation printing, the full story. You'll need 4 components to make everything work. The software, a basic standard inkjet printer repurposed with die sublimation inks, the mug press and the mugs. Here we are working with our chosen software, Affinity Designer. It's Seri's latest attempt at doing graphic software. It's a clone of Illustrator. Cost about £50. We're learning as a company how to use it. Here we're placing graphics on a page. We've already designed the graphics previously because they are our customers, and we set up a page A4, 300 dots per inch, that's the resolution, and CMYK, those are the 4 colours of inks we're going to use. So we set up 3 pieces of paper per page that we'll then cut out and put onto the mug. You see we've got our own graphics on it, and now we're on the 3rd version. We'll just quickly cut through to the next part of the video, which is to save it and then do print setup. Now print setup is slightly more different to normal because we have to choose our die sublimation printer. The die sublimation printer has previously been set up with a profile with also a high quality print setting onto plain paper. We got all our kit from a company called City Ink Express. The idea was to try and hope that everything would work together. So here's the Epson inkjet printer printing out the work. Now the inkjet printer is quite a tricky machine to work with. We have to design it to work with the continuous ink supply which City inkjet printers supplied. We found it quite stressful installing the continuous ink supply, but now it's working fine. Here I'm removing a mug and I've cut out the piece of paper, which the template, and I'm going to stick it back to front, ink side facing the mug, and we're taping it to the mug with this heat resistant polyamide tape, which is easily available from eBay, for example. It's very important that quality control comes here, that you get the paper exactly in the middle, level, and as I say, ink facing the mug, and also make sure it's the right way up. Do this very carefully, otherwise the whole thing is a waste of time. Meanwhile, the mug press, the next part of the component, will be switched on and will start to heat up to an idling temperature, and I'll discuss the temperature settings for the mug press in a moment. So we've got the mug press, left hand side the press itself, the right hand side the controller. We've got a spare mug inside the mug press to keep the element nice and even and in good condition. I'm going to get a mug pre-prepared with the paper stuck to it, and I'm going to put it into the mug press, which is already bleeped to tell us that the right temperature has been reached. I will then press the start button. We've previously programmed the controller with the correct time and the correct temperature. If you go onto YouTube, you'll find lots of people stressing about what the correct temperatures and time are. So the temperature we have chosen, which is, I think, 300 and I forgot what it is now. It's 338 degrees. Now this is imagine an American machine, so it's in Fahrenheit, and the time is 150 seconds. Look at the time readout. It's working on temperature at the moment. The temperature immediately goes down because it's cooling down because of the mug you've just put into the machine. It will stabilize, and then you'll watch the temperature slowly go up. So the initial temperature you've got to program in is the idling temperature, which is, we'll say, 10 degrees below your target temperature. It's quite annoying trying to program this machine. It's a bit like programming your digital watch. But the good news is that when you've programmed it and it's working, it saves all your settings, which is great. So it's now gone to time. So it's reached the target temperature, and now it's going to start counting down to 0 when it'll start making another annoying noise. Take the mug out of your press. Don't forget it's hot. You can either, if you're impatient, take the paper off straight away, or you can leave it to cool and in the meantime get on with printing another mug. So we'll now see what's going to happen. I'm telling you now, the The mug result is fantastic. The quality is excellent. Very impressive process, even though it takes quite a while to get together working. We must have spoiled about 3 mugs initially getting it right. Things that went wrong were the temperature and the time, not getting the print quite right, so for example marks on it, which would then transfer to the mug. Thanks for watching. I hope you found that useful. Please contact us at minutemanpress.port if you've got any questions. Thank you.